Congressman, gerrymandering is an age-old conundrum in politics, but the Republicans seem to be winning the war right now nationally, although Democrats are starting to compete. How worried are you about this, especially with voting rights being restricted in many states?
Well, gerrymandering really is a form of voter suppression. So it's a way to deny the majority an appropriate voice at the table when it comes to elections. Look, we tried at the beginning of this session to pass a bill that would address that, basically taking the decision to as to what congressional districts look like away from state legislatures and putting it into the hands of independent commissions so that voters can choose their elected officials, not the other way around. I think that's a good thing. And I say that, notwithstanding the fact that the Massachusetts legislature did a very good job of redistricting, and our Republican governor signed it into law. But gerrymandering has been used as a weapon, again, to try to rig elections. And it's a serious matter. Unfortunately, the Senate, because of the filibuster, has not been able to deal with the issue.
However, Democrats are playing the game as well. Just look what happened in New York this past week.
Well, I'm not saying that they're not. I'm simply saying that it's a bad practice. And if we want to change the system, then we ought to change the system. House Democrats actually passed a bill that would get rid of gerrymandering, that would establish independent commissions to decide redistricting. I would like to think the Democrats and Republicans in the Senate could come together and say, that's a good idea. But what's happening now is Republicans are realizing they can't win elections the old-fashioned way. People don't support their ideas. So in order for them to win, they need to rig the system, whether it's through gerrymandering, whether it's through voter suppression laws, or whether it's through appointing people to partisan people to nonpartisan commissions so they can nullify the election results. That's what Donald Trump tried to do in the last election. He tried to get people to ignore the will of the voters and nullify the results. This is, again, a very serious issue, and people need to start taking it more seriously.
Congressman, many would say that there's a very slim barrier between politics and sports. And with this latest lawsuit from Brian Flores, who was an assistant with the Patriots and head coach in Miami recently, alleging institutional racism in the National Football League in terms of hiring head coaches, is the case clear to you? And is there anything that Congress can or even should do about intervening in this business?
Well, first of all, I want to commend Brian Flores for his courage in coming forward. I mean, he may very well be jeopardizing his future career. But I think he reached a point where he felt there was no other alternative other than to speak out. Look, let's be honest here. We have a problem in this country with systemic racism. It's in our politics, it's in our courts, it's in some of our policing, it's in our business community, and it's in professional sports. And I think the NFL, quite frankly, rather than just immediately circling the wagons and saying, "Oh, everything's perfect here," should have at least acknowledged the concerns of Brian Flores. So I don't know where this is going to go, but I commend him for his courage. And quite frankly, I'm going to talk to some of my colleagues. I think there should be hearings on this issue.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you think it should reach the Hill? Do you
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. Congressman, thank you.
I do.
Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great to be with you. Be safe.
Be well. You too.